Picked up my second win this week. So, for those who have been to Citi Field, that song may sound familiar, even though it didn't happen many times last year, but it's the song they play when the Mets win the game. They play it after the game ends. What's up? Week 6 in the books. Week 7 has already just started. But before we get to week 7, let's recap week 6. Mean Machine. I kicked your ass, man. 115 to 65. The SmackDown. Dude. I got my second win this week. It was ugly. I mean, it was just ugly. Boyd had a big game for me. I think I put everybody that needed to be on that scored for me. I picked everybody correctly. Newman had a big game, and no one stepped up on your team. I think Crosby had the most. Your kicker had the most points in your team. That shows you how bad that week was, man. Mean Machine drops down to 2-4. I go up to 2-4. I'm no longer in the basement. I'm making my move now. I'm telling you, I'm making the playoffs. I'm going to be a team to be reckoned with. Let's see. We had the matchup between Red Ghost and Gotham Knights. Red Ghost, Frankie, moves to 5-1 with a 119-107 win. What's crazy is that after Thursday, Gotham Knights had a 66-point lead. Barkley went off, Wentz went off, but man, Frankie came back with a vengeance. How about the Ravens defense? 11 sacks, posting a shutout, 28 points, your highest scoring team, highest scoring person on your team. Brown had a big game. Thielen, who may be, if not the best wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the league right now. Frankie wins 119 to 107. He goes up to 5-1 on a 3-game winning streak. Terry, after starting out 3-0, you've lost the last 3, and now you're at 500 at 3-3. Man, you're gonna have to turn it around soon, man. Next up, we had Brooklyn Giants versus Legendary Giant, the Battle of the Giants. Brooklyn Giants pulls off the win, 112 to 103. Well, we had a few close games this week. Let's see, who got busy for you? Gostkowski, 20 points. Hill from Kansas City had 36. I mean, those were your 2 big scorers. Juan, you had a big game from Gurley. No one else pretty stepped up. LeBron had a decent game, but you got killed with the quarterback play, man. Watson only scored 3 points for you. Russell Wilson had 27. If you just started him, or if you started Goodwin, a wide receiver, over Cup, you would have won, man. It sucks. The defending champs drops down to 3-3. Williams Brooklyn Giants goes up to 3-3. And man, we have a lot of 500 teams here. Next up, we have Frank's Jets against Team Deal. And Frank's Jets pull out the win. 148 to 128. He goes up to 3-3. Another 500 team. Team Deal, you drop down to 1-5, and you're sharing the basement. Oh man, it was just big games. Gordon had a monster game, 35 points. Sanders had 22. The Texans defense drops 23. Brady, as always, had a big game. Frank, good game, man. Next up, we had Guns N' Roses versus Flying Buffalo Wings. Guns N' Roses gets the win, 136 to 126. He moves to 5-1 and now is in first place. Alex, man, you had a little streak going, but man, tough loss. Aaron Rodgers had a huge game for you. You really need Le'Veon Bell to come back, man. I think once you get Bell back, you're really, I mean, you can make a run. I mean, at least you're still in it. You're 2-4. You're 1 game out the playoff spot. You just need Bell to step in and just, start playing. Because with him and Rodgers, you got a monster game, man. Guns N' Roses, Evan, man, you're new to the league, man, and you are just kicking ass right now, man. You're on a 4-game winning streak, and like I said, you're tied for first. Along with LeBron is a bum. Gets his first loss of the year. He was 1 game away from tying the best start in fantasy football league history. But, man, Marco brought it to him, 147 to 115. Winston had a big game. Hunt had a big game. Schuster had a big game. The Dallas the kickers this past week, had monster games. 20 points, 18 points. Insane. I think the best kicker of them all no one had was Myers, where he kicked 7 field goals. I think he had something like 25, 26 points, and he was a free agent. So, Marco, you go up to 4-2. You're 1 game behind the top spot. Jordan, you lost your first game, and now you're 5-1, tied with Guns N' Rosen. The last game of the week, Bad Boys versus Bushwick Hitmen, and Bad Boys pulls out the win 191. Bubba, what's going on, man? You're 1-5 now. Dude, seriously, what's going on, man? You can't get a break. Goff, he only scored 8 points for you. You left Crabtree on the bench, and he drops 18. You would have started him instead of Evans. You would have gone the win. Actually, you would have started him over any of your receivers. You would have gone the win. Bad Boys, good game. I mean, you pretty much had big games by 2 guys. Julio Jones finally had a big game. I think he got his first touchdown of the year. And Andrew Luck had a monster game, 4 touchdowns, 30 points. You go to 500 too. So like I said, there's a lot of 500 teams. We look at the league right now. Guns N' Rosen, LeBron is a bum, and Red Ghost all tied for first with a 5-1 record. Marco, you're in 4th place, but 1 game behind them at 4-2. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams at 500. Brooklyn Giants, French Jets. You have Bad Boys, Legendary Giants, and Gotham Knights. After that, you got 3, 2, and 4 teams. My Eli's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Like I said, I'm coming after you guys. You also have Flying Buffalo Wings and Mean Machines, who is on a 4-game slide after starting off the season 2-0. And then in the basement, you got Team Deal and Bushwick Hitmen. So now we're starting week 7. Now let's look at the matchups. I'm going up against Brooklyn Giants. William, shit, man, you've got a hard team. You've got guys that at any given moment can have a monster game. The only thing that I may have luck with is the fact that New Orleans is playing against Baltimore in Baltimore. Baltimore is one of the best defenses in the league. New Orleans usually plays better at home than on the road. I'm hoping there's not many great big games for Breeze or Ingram. I feel I'm going to pull out the win. Even though you've jumped to a good start already with the Denver defense scoring 2 touchdowns, but we'll see what happens. Next we have 2 teams on opposite side of the spectrum. Red goes to a 5-1 against Team Deal, who's 1-5. All signs point to Frankie winning this game. Looking at Red Ghost, look who they were against, they should win. However, I'm going to call for the upset. Team Deal gets his 2nd win of the week as he upsets Red Ghost. The next matchup we have Bushwick Hitmen versus Gotham Knights. Looking at the 2 matchups, and I see another upset here. I think Gotham Knights is going to get their 4th loss in a row, and I think Bubba is going to get his 2nd win of the season. Next up, we got Legendary Giants against Bad Boys, 2 500 teams. This is going to be a close game. I'm going to give it to, oh man. I want to give it to Legendary Giant because they got Gurley going against San Fran, but I think Julio Jones is going to have a monster game against the Giants. And I'm a Giant fan, and it's just the way they're playing right now, the defense sucks. I think Bad Boys are going to pull the win out and go to 4-3. Next up, we have Mean Machines against N-Team 8000. And I'm going to tell you right now, N-Team 8000, they're going to take this win. Why? Marco, you're on a roll right now. You're 4-2. You've got a good squad. You got great running backs. Mean Machines, I don't know what's going on. You've got great wide receivers, but you have no backs. You're going to have to pull a trade soon for a back, man, because you have no running backs. You've got wide receivers that are on your bench. I don't know, man. Next up, we have Frank's Jets against Flying Buffalo Wings. I'm going to give it to Frank's Jets just because Flying Buffalo Wings, man, you got a lot of guys who may not even play. Limited practice. Like I said, you really need Le'Veon Bell back, man. And then the last matchup, the game of the week. This is Sunday Night Football right here. LeBron is a bum versus Guns N' Rosen. 2 teams, 5-1, evenly matched. I'm not going to pick a winner. I'm just going to enjoy and watch because I think both teams bring different things to the table. It's going to be a fun matchup to see. The winner gets sole possession. Well, they won't get sole possession on the first because if Red Ghost wins, they'll also be in first. But they'll be in a good position come playoff time. All right, well, I've rambled enough here. You guys have a great week. that's pretty much it, man. Giants. Ugh. I guess you know what? It's time to draft a quarterback next year. All right. I'm just watching it right now, and I see Boston is kicking ass right now, so it looks like they're going to be going to the World Series. I think Milwaukee's going to upset the Dodgers and win the last 2 games, and I think it's going to be Boston versus Milwaukee in the World Series. What else do we have? My Islanders have lost a few games, but it's all right, though. The season's early. And I think Chicago Bulls open tonight or tomorrow. So sports all around. And right now, Denver is kicking Cardinals' ass right now. You guys have a good week. Brooklyn Giants, I'm coming after you. I'm going to win this week. It's my thing. And as I leave out, I'm going to play my song as the Mets play it. Let's go, Mets!